I'm Julie Jones with Excellence in Exercise, and I'm here today to show you how to use your exercise band set to get a great strength workout no matter where you are. Let's start by grabbing one of our bands. I'm going to use the 20-pound band. Your set comes with anywhere from a 10 all the way up to a 30, and we'll show you how you can use those today to get the most out of each band. And we want to set up the anchor by taking the anchor and sliding it onto the band that you're going to use, putting the band through it. And then we have a handle attached to each end, the carabiner at each end. We're going to start today by placing our anchor at the top of a solid door. I'm using my front door here today because I can lock it, and I know that that anchor is not going to go anywhere. So we're going to open the door, place our anchor at the top, close the door, lock it, and then I want to pull any tension out of the band, any slack. So we're going to step back and we're going to start with a couple of pull motions today. The first being a row. So you want to go feet about shoulder width apart, roll your shoulders up, back and down, really settle into your feet, pull your belly button in and sit your rear end back. I'm going to start with my palms face down, and I'm going to use a rowing motion to pull the handles in toward the chest and straight back out. Big pull, squeeze the shoulder blades together on the back. Each time you pull those handles back toward the body, you're squeezing the shoulder blades together. Now I can make this a little bit more difficult by stepping back and away from the attachment. I can make it a little easier by stepping in, but we always want to have some tension on our bands the entire time. So this is my row, really working those muscles in between the shoulder blades, really, really good for those of us who spend time working on a computer and working at a desk to strengthen those muscles in the back and open up the chest. Okay, so I'm going to then flip my palms face up. My elbows are going to stay high. Keep my feet at shoulder width. Keep those knees soft. Sit back into the hips. And I'm going to do a bicep curl by pulling the handles up towards my shoulders and then straightening the arms. Big curl all the way up, all the way down. One of the mistakes we see fairly often is that folks want to pull the elbows in and then curl. You want to keep those elbows high. So big bicep curl. Now I can also flip around and get my push exercises doing a chest press or a chest fly. So I'm going to step out, get some tension on my bands, soft knees, feet about shoulder width apart, and I'm going to press. So chest press here. My palms stay down. Nice bend in the elbows, hands come right back to the chest every time. And then I can also do a chest fly by flipping my palms face in, and then big reach out to the side, nice stretch there in the chest, bend the elbows as they come back, and then press back in. So both push motions here, chest press, and this is a chest fly. And then we can also do a skull crusher or that overhead tricep. So my hands are going to be right at eye level, shoulders down. I don't want to lean forward into those handles. I'm really holding my weight in my body and my legs. I'm going to bring the knuckles back to my forehead and then press out. So knuckles to the forehead, big press out. Now I can make this harder again as I step forward. I want to keep my elbows as close as they possibly can. I can make it a little bit easier if I step back. Okay, so let's add to this because we can add a lower body component as well. So we're going to start back facing our attachment. doing a row motion, but we're gonna add a back lunge. And this is an excellent exercise for anyone who sits at a desk because it's gonna put our hip flexor in extension, and we're gonna be working those muscles in the back as well. So arms straight out, soft knees. I'm starting with my feet together this time. I'm gonna step back into a back lunge, row, step together, step back, row, step together, alternating each time. So I have to use my core a little bit as well to stabilize as I bring my feet together. Alternating back lunge, row, getting those legs as well. And again, that hip mobility, which is so important. Okay, so I can add the lower body with the upper body here. I can flip around and I can do the exact opposite with a front lunge to a chest press or chest fly, stepping out, press, step together, front lunge, press, step together, alternating here, or with a chest fly, hands out to the sides, step forward so you can see the legs, front lunge, chest fly. Okay, you want to alternate, do the same amount on each side, on each leg. So now let's take our bands and we're going to leave them at the top and leave the attachment at the top, but show you how to add a little bit of weight without adjusting your band. So with both handles attached, I'm pulling 10 pounds with each arm, assuming that my arms are working equally. I can make this a true 20-pound push or pull by removing one of the handles and keeping the other one on. So now any of my exercises, my row, I'm doing a single arm. I'm making this right arm work independently. So I'm pulling all of that 20 pounds with one side, and then I can switch 20 pounds on the other side. Okay, and this is good to mix in with your workouts so that it makes each arm work independently. You can make sure that kind of one dominant side isn't always working harder than the other one. I can do the same thing with my bicep curl. So just curling here, lifting that weight, all of the resistance with one side, and then switching on the other side. Okay, same goes for those push motions. So for this, I like to go staggered stance, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, big press, all on one side, and then you'll want to switch to the other side, switch legs and arms. I can do my chest fly here as well. Chest fly. And I can do my overhead tricep if I choose to. Single arm, all on one side, and then switch all on the other side. Okay? Now let's take our bands and we're going to move the attachment down to the middle of our door. Make sure that I don't have any slack there. And let's keep our single handle attachment here. Now, with the bands at the middle of the door, I can still do any of my exercises that I've just shown you. You're going to feel it slightly differently in different areas of the muscle at each place where you attach it. Okay, so it's almost like if you're thinking in the gym of using an incline bench, a decline bench, a flat bench, you would get slightly different use of each muscle group depending on where that bench was adjusted to. Same goes for our bands. So the thing that I really like to do at this middle attachment is work core. So to do that, I'm going to hold both hands around my handle I'm gonna bring the handle just in to the center of my chest. I'm gonna step out so that I've got some tension on my bands, and I'm gonna do a band press. So just straight out and back in. I like to go 10 reps here. You could also do this for time, 20 or 30 seconds, and then add some shoulder mobility going up and over the head, back down and in. Now you're gonna feel this in your core, especially in the oblique closest to the attachment. So again, I'm getting that shoulder mobility with the up and over move. And then I'm gonna hold, stabilize and hold. And then I would flip around and do the same thing on the other side. Presses first, out and in. Then I would go up and over. And then I would give a hold on the other side. Okay, so lots of great ways that you can use this to work core. And then let's also move it down to the bottom, and I'll show you some things that you can do there. We'll get into a little bit more lower body stuff here too. So I'm going to take my bands out, move my anchor to the bottom, close my door. And again, I want to pull and make sure that there's no slack that has built up as I have secured that anchor. I'll keep my one handle here for now, and let's keep with core. So I'm gonna, again, hold both attachments, both hands on the same handle. And I'm gonna give a little squat, and then I'm gonna pivot and rotate. So working those obliques again and working hip mobility. You see that I'm driving through, my hips are following the handle as I rotate to the side. You're getting some legs, some glute work here, as well as your core. And then I would flip and switch to the other side. This is a great exercise for any of my tennis players or golfers out there. So a little squat, pivot, squat, pivot. All right. Also, from here, we can do any of our other exercises that we looked at before. We can still do our row. We can still do our bicep curl. We can actually do a tricep kick back here, single arm. I can flip around. I can do my chest press, my chest fly. Okay, but let's add our second handle, and I'll show you a couple other things that you can do here. Now, with my bands anchored at the bottom of my door, I can add a little more lower body here. So we're gonna do a squat to a row. Squat, row. Again, getting that rowing motion, but adding in the lower body component. If I wanted to, I could still do my back lunge row here. But I really like the squat row from this bottom position. I prefer the back lunge row with the anchor attached in the top position, okay? I can also do a lateral lunge, and from here, what I wanna do is make sure that I have enough space to move side to side. So I would lunge to the side, step together, I can add a curl. Lunge, step together, add a curl. Lunge, curl, lunge, curl. We can also do a pure lower body move, lower body exercise with our split squat. So I'm gonna go 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. From here, my arms just hold the attachments. I'm gonna drop the back knee, press through the front heel, come back up. So this is great for working legs, and you get those glutes as well. So another really good exercise for those of us who spend too much time at a desk, because it gets the glutes working again, and it also puts our hip in extension. So I would want to make sure that I'm doing the same either time or reps on the opposite side. I'm just holding those bands. Upper body is really doing nothing here except holding the weight and working those legs. Okay, from here, I can also flip around. And again, I can do my chest press. I can do my chest fly. I'll want to make sure that I get as many reps on with one leg forward as with the other. And then I can also do things like a front shoulder raise. So soft knees, and we're just going to pull straight up and back down. You want the hands coming up to shoulder level, all the way up, all the way down. And I can also do a side shoulder raise. Big reach out to the side and all the way down. I can control how difficult this is by either stepping forward, away from the attachment to make it more difficult, or stepping back to make it a little bit easier. Okay, you guys, hopefully you see now that there are so many things that you can do, so many great exercises that you can do just using this band set and your door. Have a great day. Get a good productive break. Use those bands, and I'll see you soon.